Welcome
to Munda Makeover.
We have traveled all over Zambia to find hardworking farmers.
We want to share their success stories.
And where there are challenges, we will bring experts to help them gain the extra knowledge they need.
So they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields
and increase their income.
We will see how farmers from across the country can benefit from our experts' advice,
while also learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences as they improve their farms.
On
Munda Makeover. Kazi, do you sometimes feel like leaving the city, enjoy the wide spaces out in nature, and have fresh food?
Yeah, Zambia has some amazing farmlands. Yes, yeah. Absolutely. As long as I don't have to dig for my food every day.
You know, the farmers we're about to meet were not afraid to leave Lusaka to come to the open lands of Rufunsa. So be brave, my friend.
Leaving the city behind, Adrian, Tembo and Queen Banda moved their family to pursue their passion for farming.
That is why this week we are in Kanyongoloka in Rufunsa, seeing how we can help grow their love for farming even more.
Before we came here, we used to stay in Lusaka. I worked as an assistant chef. After that, I was promoted as a chef.
My job, we are doing some contracts as a guide.
There is a big difference in the city and at the farm. In town, it's every day budgeting. On the farm, life has been better.
Hello, anybody?
Yevo.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Hello, how are you, Mami?
Thank you for receiving us here. My name is Koziani.
And I am Vikacha.
I'm Queen Banda.
Okay.
And I'm Adrian Tembo.
So, what do Adrian and Queen have on the farm?
Okay, we have cows, goats, chickens.
Hey, I'm going with a goat because I'm the goat.
I love chicken, so maybe I'll just go with some chicken. I can't say I'm a chicken. Fantastic. But that's not all. They grow maize, soya beans, groundnuts, sunflower, tomatoes and vegetables. What are some of the challenges that you've been facing?
Here, we have got so many challenges.
Okay.
Maybe you can just say lack of rain.
Clearly.
We have tried to plant some maize, but we have got some maize dry.
Did you manage to harvest any maize at all?
Not enough.
Not enough.
We have some other challenges, yes, like seeds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you allow us, we'll go get our experts and come back and start finding some good solutions to your challenges. Does that sound good?
Okay, thank you.
All right then, Mama. The recent drought has meant that a lot of farmers have lost most, if not all, of their produce. Now, there is a way that farmers can try and prevent complete loss. Weather patterns are changing, the rains have failed, and the farmers need solutions, especially when it comes to maize. The fall armyworm has also attacked the maize. I have called Harrison Zimba, an agro-expert from the Catholic Relief Services, to come and help. How big was the land that you planted on?
For the maize, we have planted about 2 hectares.
What seed did you plant for the maize?
700.
Right, so the 700 seeds. How much would you usually be able to harvest?
I was managing to harvest about 150 bags of 50 kgs.
Okay, and how many did you get?
At now, I don't think you are going to get more than 10.
You hear that, Harrison? From over 100 bags, now he's doubting whether or not he's going to even get 10. But we're here for solutions.
Just looking at the quality of the crops that are coming out and also the stocks that are already in the field, you could actually see how the farmer was actually affected by drought. Then also the fall armyworm, which has actually affected most of his crop field. One thing that Catholic Relief Services CRS does is actually promoting climate-smart agricultural practices.
Right.
First thing that we look at is the quality of the seed that you're actually planting.
Right.
The farmer needs first to know the agroecological zone that they are in.
Okay.
In Zambia, we have 3 agroecological zones.
Yes. Agroecological zones are made up from how much rainfall an area receives. Zambia has 3 zones. Zone 3 receives the highest, which is 1,000 millimeters and above, of rainwater per year. Zone 2 receives about 800 to 1,000 millimeters per year. And Zone 1 receives less than 800 millimeters per year. Mr. Tembo is in Rufunsa, which is in Zone 1, with the least amount of rainfall per year.
Now, taking into consideration the variety that Mr. Tembo actually planted is actually a variety for Region 3, the 700 series, where farmers that receive more than 1,000 millimeters of water are supposed to actually plant. So for Mr. Tembo, who is actually in an agroecological zone 1, was actually supposed to plant varieties that are within the 300 series and 400 series.
Now, what's the difference between the 700 seed which I've planted and the 300?
So the 700 series is a late maturing seed variety. So it actually requires over 120 days plus, because you only have 2 months of rains. At 60 days, it actually hasn't started tasseling, or maybe it hasn't started forming, doing the cobbing. Similar to what we're actually observing. You can see there's nothing. This is because the window was just too short for a 700 series to do the cobbing. So that's the challenge that Mr. Tembo actually had. But for early maturing seed varieties, the 300 series and parts of 400 series, you discover to say you have maturity attained at 65 days to 70 days.
Right. Right.
So meaning Mr. Tembo, even if he received rains in just December and January, Mr. Tembo would have had a good harvest.
I see.
Currently, there is a new variety that has been released, which is drought tolerant and also armyworm tolerant as well. So if Mr. Tembo actually planted that maize variety, Mr. Tembo would have had more bags than the 10 that is actually anticipating to produce this year.
Now, how can I find that seed?
You can buy the seed from an agro dealer, a registered agro dealer.
Would you like him to show us how to plant the maize?
Yes,
Okay,
I do
fantastic.
like
Please, let us go.
Okay.
Our expert is going to show Tembo how to plant the maize in a way that will further help when it comes to climate change. Apart from getting the right seed, our farmers should also practice conservation agriculture. We are starting by digging where we will put the seed and not the whole land as Tembo had done last season. This is called minimum tillage. If you have a tractor and you want to do minimum tillage, use a ripper instead of the disc plow, or use a ripper attached to an ox to make rip lines. This will ensure less evaporation, and in case of drought, the crop will survive. Spacing is also very important. Leave 25 centimeters from plant to plant and 75 centimeters from row to row. Correct spacing will ensure the plants don't compete for nutrients and moisture in the soil. Holes are ready, so let's put 1 bottle top of planting fertilizer. Add a handful of manure and mix well with the soil to avoid burning the seed. Next, we plant the 400 series seed. That is early maturing, drought tolerant, and 4 armyworm tolerant. Because it's certified, it's guaranteed to germinate, so plant 1 seed per hole. Then cover with soil. Now it looks like the clouds are about to form, which is exactly what our seeds need. So we just wait for the rain and our bumper harvest.
Yeah, sure.
I think we should run quickly before it rains.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic.
Mr. and Mrs. Banda are lucky enough to have a permanent stream which they use to grow vegetables.
The tank is up.
Think it's time for a tank and some pipes. And just like any other business, farming has its risks. With risk, you need insurance. It's possible to insure your crops and livestock too. Surprised, right? Follow me to learn more. Our farmers definitely need insurance to protect themselves from all the unforeseen. To help them with this, we have called in Banda, an insurance expert from Eka Africa.
Climate change is with us and here to stay. And unfortunately, in the Zambia context this year, we faced a very drastic drought. And as a result, most farmers faced losses because there wasn't sufficient rainfall to sustain the crop that they planted. So for Mam Queen, who planted maize and groundnuts, one advice that I would have for her is, in the future, it would be important to ensure that you have an insurance policy and support your farming activities.
Okay. Have you heard about insurance?
Yes.
Okay, nice. What's the importance of insuring crops?
We have crop insurance policies that are actually specifically crafted to take care of loss in rainfall. So a particular insurance product that I would like to speak about today is called Weather Index Insurance.
Okay.
The way the product is designed and developed is we use satellite data, rainfall information that allows us to know at Mam Queen's farm, this is the amount of rainfall that has been raining over the past couple of months or the past couple of years. If she faces low rainfall or excess rainfall, she's compensated appropriately. But of course, what's key is that they're also practicing good agriculture practices, right? We have to make sure that this farmer is weeding their field, the farmer is applying the appropriate chemicals that they need to apply if they see any pests, so that insurance comes in not from a farmer's negligence, but from a farmer having done everything that they know how to do, but the situation is just out of their control.
Oh, it's good to hear that.
How big are the losses?
The inputs I spent 10,000 kwacha.
Wow.
When you don't have insurance, it means it doesn't cover you for the losses that you face. So I'll give a practical example. I know sometimes farmers will actually get a loan to finance their activities, right? And the idea is that at the end of the season, they'll sell their produce and be able to pay back the loan. Most of these loans that financial institution will give in agri-lending, the collateral is the actual produce. But if there's no produce, it means I can't sell my produce and I can't finance the loan that I've taken out.
So in your case, did you get any loan or?
I got a loan.
Insurance then comes in as a bridge to make sure that any losses that are faced as a result of poor rainfall pattern are financed by the insurance coverage. One way that we ensure affordability is by accessing the farmers through aggregated farmer groups. And together as a group, they're able to purchase insurance policies, but these policies will still be customized to their individual localities.
Weather-based index insurance covers a farmer from loss due to reduced or excess rains. Weather information is used to check if the farmer is going to go at a loss. This means the farmer is paid once the information shows drought or flood.
I think there are two ways that a farmer can be insured. It can either be on their inputs or on their expected yield. So like Mam Queen has said, she spent 10,000 kwacha on her inputs. And this amount, if say she had a loan, it would allow her to then go and offset what she owes the financial institution without her having to sell any other assets on the field.
The next time we'll be coming back, we'll find you, doing the insurance packages with Eka Africa.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Mommy Queen.
I'm working on a shirt.
Ah.
It's a school shirt.
So you're the woman who does the school uniforms for the kids around here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I want you to make a dress for me because I'm jealous.
There's no problem. I can make it for you.
Please measure me now.
Okay.
So I should wait for my dress anytime soon?
Yes.
Work on the irrigation plot is going on well. Soon, Mr. Banda and Queen will be able to grow off-season maize.
We are seeing more and more queens going into farming. Women are an important part of farm operations, so need to play a bigger role. Who rule the world? Who rule the world? More often than not, women tend to know the intricate detail of the farm. How can this help make the farm even more profitable? By empowering them to do more. To help up on this journey, we have Dr. Emma Stambuli, a gender consultant with Gender Research Evaluation Training, GREAT. We have also brought in women from the community who do village banking together with Queen to be part of this important conversation.
Now, we just want to learn from you. How do you use the monies when you share out from your groups?
When that money comes, we sit together with my husband, Mr. Tembo. We make decisions together how to use that money. Because when I'm doing village banking, he's the one who supports me.
For example, last year you had your share out. So how much did you get?
It was 2,000 kwacha. I told my husband this is the money from the village banking. Then we decided to keep some for buying seed. Then the other one, buy material for sowing. And the other one for business, for buying flour to bake buns. Yes.
Okay, so the point we are saying is you came to him, put your heads together and decided. But even those decisions, they were in favor of your activities, your business. What we are saying is even if the women sometimes fear that the husband might grab the money, in this case we are seeing that he actually provides some advice and doesn't grab the money. But in fact, all the money that you brought was spent on your activities, right? That's what we are saying. Okay, good.
It is important for men and women to share their financial information. It is also important that both men and women are part of the planning of the farm. What happens when both share openly?
The family is motivated because we work together with the children, the husband, they support us in raising the money that we take to the village banking. Is that so?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we've looked at the money that you bring in. What about your husband's money?
The ladies laugh knowing that in many cases, men won't consult their wives, but not always. Some of the women do share planning with their husbands.
Do you have a say over that?
We do the same.
You do the same?
Yeah, he show me the money. So we discuss what are we going to do with that money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So what difference are you seeing between yourselves who are doing joint planning with your husband and those ones who are not, who work? The husband makes his money, uses it the way he wants. The wife makes money, uses it the way she wants.
There is a big difference. Yes, in those homes, the kids doesn't go to school. You, my husband, buy shoes for the kid. The husband also says, you, my wife, you buy the shoes for the kid. So there is no cooperation. They don't work together.
And then in the end, no one is doing it, right? Yes. And so there's a problem. And we don't see development in those kind of homes. That's the point that we are learning here, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
It's very, very inspiring to learn from you, Queen and the Queens.
The tank is up and the piping is done. They can now move from flooding their tomatoes with a hose pipe to a more efficient sprinkler system.
So I've seen a development somewhere there at the garden. I wasn't expecting it, but it has just come.
Once the tomatoes are harvested, they can use the profits to put up drip lines, which will conserve even more water, and they can plant more crops.
What's the umbrella for? The weather has changed this season. There's no more rain.
Vikacha, this is my insurance policy. If it's too hot, I can just do this. And if it starts raining, I can use this. And if we have to walk a very far distance, this is my walking stick.
Kozi, be my insurance policy too. I can't walk alone. Kozi!
Welcome to Munda Makeover, Drought Special for Zambia. Because of climate change, we expect dry conditions to continue across Zambia, with few areas getting good rains. Drought is one of the most disastrous climate-related threats that affects agriculture, the environment, infrastructure, and socio-economic activities. With the current dry condition across the country, ensure to practice conservation farming, which includes digging, where you want to plant your seed only and not the entire farm. Covering the soil with dry grass or leaves to help retain water in the soil, and planting cover crops. If you have access to water for irrigation, consider planting early maturing maize varieties and other alternative crops such as early maturing legumes and vegetables to cope with the impacts of dry spells. Consider making silage from maize that has no chance of recovering to feed your livestock in this dry season. Preserve fodder so that you may have enough food for your livestock, as pasture might not be enough this year. Scout your farm for pests and control them as soon as you spot them with the recommended pesticides. Report any unusual insects or crop diseases to the nearest agricultural office. If your area gets rain, collect water from your roof to your storage points such as tanks and drums. Ensure to clean your roof and gutters to get clean water. Preserve food by sun-drying, salting, and fermenting for use throughout the dry season. Destock your livestock and keep those you are able to care for properly. You can restock when normalcy returns. Now is the best time to use non-farm rural activities such as craft production to earn income. For further assistance and information, contact the nearest agricultural officer.
Mommy Queen, is this my dress?
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's see. Thank you so much, Mommy
You're
Queen.
welcome.
Let me try it on. Don't tell Cozy. Woo! Can't wait to look nice.
Where's Vikacha? I mean, we've been standing here for a while, but I can't see.
Hello. Missed me?
Mrs. Tembo, I think you and I need to talk.
Signs that who run the world, who run the farms.
I'm not going to answer or sing back.
Yeah, now I look like the boss and the queen at the same time. So, Mommy Queen, how is it going?
I'm feeling very happy.
What has been your favorite part of our visit, Mrs. Tembo?
Everything.
Next time you came, we are expecting you to find a lot of tomatoes.
Fantastic.
Fresh maize.
So on that note, we will see you next week
On another episode of Munda Makeover!